Welcome to Fast Effect Double Speed Magic the Gathering. We have a spicy one here today, a pair of Dark Ritual based decks, and Rudon Dragon leading out first with a Dark Ritual for Entomb, grabbing Gristlebrand. And Ant is not going to have anything to say about this. Lucas has plenty of discard that he could have used if he went first, but we're going to have a Dance of the Dead on Gristlebrand. Rude's going to be able to draw 14 cards, have a stab at a ton of free discard. And of course, those Lotus Petals might enable an entire reanimation strategy to happen again. Let's see what he manages to pull here. Starting out with an Unmask. And Luca's actually just going to pack it in, facing down a Gristlebrand and revealing his hand. No real chance of winning that game. Going to try and keep a little bit of mystery. And Rodney winning in blazing fast fashion. Now, Unmask has been joined by Grief as an additional free discard effect. A lot of people took a look at those two cards and felt that Unmask was stronger because ultimately you're able to unmask yourself in those situations where you need an additional discard outlet. But I don't know. I feel like Grief may end up proving to be the strongest card in the set. I know there's a lot of stiff competition. Ragavan, may end up getting banned, for example. Card is so incredibly strong. Urza's Saga, really, really potent magic card as well. But Grief, I mean, we'll see. So far, we haven't seen people taking advantage of the body. And I think that's the real question, is the fact that you get the 3/2 body, is it going to be something that you hit with a Reanimate? Is it going to be something that triggers Bridge from Below, Sacrifice to Food Chain? There's so many different ways that these new elementals could be used. And we're in the early days as far as I'm concerned. There is a lot of tournament Magic to be played, kind of sort through Modern Horizons 2. Incredibly impactful, as was Modern Horizons 1. That did end up leading to a couple of bans. We lost Astrolabe and Renin 6 from Legacy. See if everything sticks around or if end up finding certain cards to be too powerful. Now, if Thoughtseize, he's a Unmask, a Dance of the Dead, 2 mana, Tomb, Unmarked Burial. Can't get legendary creatures, but in this deck, you're often just getting Worldgorger Dragon. The turn 2 infinite mana, Worldgorger. Petal enabling. And we may see a drawn game. This goes off without a hitch. Dragon now in the graveyard. Definitely needs to do something spectacular on his turn. Looks like he has the mana to do it. Does he have anything to go along with it? We see some dice indicating that that'll be the case. Dark Ritual, Ball Ritual, Lion's Eye Diamond. There's the Wishclaw Talisman. There's an awful lot of mana. Now, unfortunately, Wishclaw doesn't allow you to reuse it from the graveyard like an Infernal Tutor does. So Lucas is going to need to use Ad Nauseam here. Looks like he's utilizing all of his mana. And he'll need to hit a artifact at this point that will enable additional mana. Lotus Petal, Chrome Mox. I don't know that he's on Mox Opals. But honestly, Mox Opal isn't so much of a live card. Realistically, Lotus Petal or some other accelerants. I suppose you could get LED Mox Opal and running. A non-issue, though, because we've got the Lotus Petal already, along with a Lion's Eye Diamond. Oh, this is so close. Not quite there yet. Got a Cabal Ritual. Oh, there's the Dark Ritual. What a savage. He's going to be able to absolutely KO Rodney here. Lotus Petal, Cabal Ritual, Lion's Eye Diamond, Infernal. Grab a Past in Flames if he wants. Redo the whole thing. I mean, that is absolutely unquestionable line. There's no fully deterministic, no possibility of fumbling. The only thing you have to be potentially concerned about is whatever your opponent might have, but that turn one Thoughtseize, really just leaving that super small window, a top deck, that first turn. Got some fast combo decks here. See if this third game makes it a few turns, or is it just going to be another amazing fast win? Gonna have the play. Yes, mulling. Got a ponder. Not ideal, but he's going to be able to dig. And a grief feeds out. That ponder could have converted into something helpful, but Lucas is going to need a critical mass of cards. Gonna have to take the Thoughtseize here, leaving Lucas with... All right. Well, if Rodney can't... Oh, wow. So, spent a bunch of time considering. It looks like it may not matter. Got a turn one Gristlebrand in the bin. We assume it's going to be coming back, given that a Dance of the Dead has already been exiled, so we must have another. There we go. That counter, not really a counter, just a reminder that it has +1/+1 from Dance. Drawing 14 cards. The Lotus Petals. Another Grief. And going from mediocre to absolutely terrible. Now, Cabal Therapy, this hand's just getting totally shredded. Wow, Lucas is going to be left with like just a Past in Flames in hand. Facing down a Gristlebrand. I mean, even if it was just a vanilla beater at this point, that would likely get there. A Rotting Regisaur or something along those lines would be enough to close out a game from here, but instead, Rodney's going to be able to draw more cards as needed. Just a disaster. First play of the game, a Scalding Tarn. Gristlebrand untapping. Gaining extra life. +1 damage. Translates it to an extra point of life. Could end up meaning an extra increment of 7 cards at some point. Pretty unlikely that the game will go that long. Just Past in Flames. Lucas with just a couple of lands. Piranha Marsh. Setting up a lethal World Gorger Dragon. A Dance of the Dead or an Animate Dead. It's already in the bin. Fetching for an Underground Sea. Rainstorm with just the one land. And that can turn into a Lion's Eye Diamond on top of the library. That could come in handy. This is not looking good, to say the least. Gristlebrand's got just 2 more attacks. I'll be very surprised if this doesn't end right now. Even with incredibly poor luck, Gristlebrand will still mop it up next turn. Unmask. Gets the 1 card out of Lucas's hand. And he knows what he's going to draw, so this thing is actually just over. It's a question of whether or not it's going to end now or next turn. But now we've got the infinite damage with Animate Dead and Piranha Marsh, the dragon combo. finishing things a turn earlier. I mean, if we were in turns, that could have been relevant, but that was an extremely fast match as we see some very high power level out of Legacy.